there is evidence of rallying of forces, regrouping of forces, political forces from the north, trying to use the former President Buhari as a rallying point in order to evict the government of Asuwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And they hope to resurrect his political charms in the hearts of the masses and portray the government as one that has been undermining the north and one that has not been living up to its campaign promises to the region, being that it has the highest votes from there. And I must warn that attempt to do that can create a serious problem for our country. Buhari has been in power for 8 years, and there has never been any serious southerner who challenged his own government in terms of trying to remove him out of office. And secondly, we should know that before you think of power, you should think of a whole country.
This is a very strange take from Sani. In the entire 14-minute interview he granted Arise TV, he never mentioned anything like hardship, sufferings of Nigerians or anything related like that. He tried to blame the North alone, although the North is not blameless, but we'll come back to that in a moment. Sani saying that Northerners shouldn't walk towards removing Tinubu in 2027, that it will break Nigeria's unity if they do that, and all the other things he said, is laughable to say the least. No one is indispensable, especially an incompetent person. In fact, it must be obligatory that all patriotic Nigerians must work towards removing him from power in the most legal way possible. That's through the presidential election of 2027. And that's what the Northerners are already doing. And in contrast to what Sani said, Tinubu is already uniting Nigerians, so his removal will unite Nigerians more. That's the reality. Because the hardship he brought on Nigerians have forced everyone to work together. Maybe it's because Sani knows that El-Rufai is part of the northern elites that are working to remove Tinubu in 2027. El-Rufai being his sworn enemy, maybe that's why he's seeing it from this angle, he's seeing it. But everyone living in Nigeria, even people living abroad, they know the kind of hardship that this man brought on Nigerians, that many things have changed the past 1 year. Many people always try to blame it on the past administration, not even people that are affiliated to the current administration. Maybe they make it out of error or they are just being intentionally deceptive. The fact remains that the hardship started immediately he removed petrol subsidy. Not that he removed it, because they are still paying for petrol subsidy today, but he increased the price of the petrol by 3-fold. That was the beginning of the hardship. Buhari didn't cause that. Forget about all the talk that there wasn't a provision for petrol subsidy in the 2023 budget. But the current administration still presented a supplementary budget to the National Assembly, which they approved. Instead of making provision, if they truly wanted to help Nigerian economy grow, they went for vanity projects like renovation of the state mansion in Lagos, buying cars for the First Lady, which is unconstitutional by the way, buying cars for the National Assembly members, all sorts of frivolities. That's what they went for in the supplementary budget. As if that was not enough, they still floated the naira. You don't have dollars, but you floated the naira. You want people to be bidding and you'll be selling dollars to them, something that you don't have. This is basic economics. If you don't have something, don't place it on offer. But they still went ahead and they are still implementing it up to today. That crashed the value of the naira. Look at our neighbors in West Africa. Naira has become worthless. They don't even take naira anymore. Before, when you go there, they will take your naira, you can exchange and take CFA. Today, no one wants to touch naira. They tell you, go and change, you bring CFA, we do business. Did Buhari cause all this? No. We know the exchange rate before he left power, about 460 naira to $1. That's the official rate. Black market was at about 800 naira or 750, thereabout. But today, we know the official exchange rate. That's about 1,500 naira. We know who is responsible for that, so let no one try to blame other people for the woes, the hardship they brought on Nigerians. Is Buhari responsible for the exit of multinationals from Nigeria? No. We know who is responsible, and we know why they are all leaving, because they have diminished the purchasing power of Nigerians. Nigerians can't buy anything anymore. Their naira is worthless. When they go to the market, they are only interested in buying food, because even 100 naira has become 300 naira. Yes, what 100 naira used to buy during Buhari's time, 200 or 300 naira is required to buy the same thing today. Who caused it? So instead of Sheikh Sani criticizing northern politicians for doing the needful, why not use the same energy and tell the people he's defending to actually do the right thing? Deliver good governance. When you deliver good governance, no one can beat you in an election. It's very simple. This is how it works. There's no better campaign than good governance. You don't even need to stress yourself. People will willingly campaign for you, just like many people campaigned for P2B during the presidential election. That's how it works. But Nigerian politicians are so wicked and selfish, they want to eat their cake and have it. With all the stealing and looting and corruption, they will still want to perpetuate themselves in power. That's why they've started campaigning for an election that will be held in 3 years' time. No other administration in Nigeria's history has done this since the Fourth Republic started in 1999. Instead of concentrating on delivering good governance to Nigerian people, that's why everything is breaking apart before our eyes. The economy is down, businesses are folding, there's massive unemployment, there's high cost of living crisis, everything is falling apart. Or is it security? Sheikh Sani thinks that security is better than during Buhari's time.
The security challenges will be over in the whole country because it's better than the one you have during Buhari. What do you think? There are every evidence that many of the top terrorists have been eliminated. And if you compare what we are having today to what we have had yesterday, it's still the best. Under Buhari administration, you have had attack in school.
Well, more data is needed to know if truly the security situation is better under this administration compared to Buhari's time, but Nigerians don't feel it. They feel it is the same thing or even worse. Look at what is happening in southern Kaduna, in the entire Middle Belt, in Katsina, in many places in the northwest, in the northeast. It feels like a war zone. Or is it the recent kidnapping of the Fuani brothers in Ikoyi, Lagos State? So it's an exaggeration to say that the security situation is better under this administration compared to Buhari's administration. Tell that to people living in Katsina State, how many times they have to run every day, how many mass abductions and kidnappings that have happened the past 1 month alone. The mere fact that they are comparing the two administrations means that they have failed, because if not, it will be on the lips of Nigerians. Nigerians will be discussing it. Hey, we haven't heard a gunshot the past 1 month. We can take a stroll in the night, no problems. School children can go to school without fear. The atmosphere will feel different. That's how it should be. Nothing like non-state actors telling an entire community in the Middle Belt to raise millions of naira in taxes to the extent that they had to share the money per home. Some of the homes got about 50,000 naira to pay as ransom to non-state actors. So who will blame the people for running around and doing anything they can to remove and replace the person that is supposed to be responsible for their security? The person is obviously not doing his job. That's why they are constantly under attack. This is exactly what the northern politicians are doing. It's not about a power grab like Sheikh Sani wants to make Nigerians believe. Northern politicians are aware that the northern region alone can't make anyone president. They also know that backing a northern presidential candidate in 2027 will mean that that person will not win. So they must back a southern presidential candidate in 2027 that will unite Nigerians better. It will also guarantee that this administration will not return to power in 2027. Many people are quick to say that elections will never be free and fair, that votes will never count unless INEC is reformed and other reforms that are needed. But the truth is, many people are taking 2027 as a war. It is an existential threat. So if you are not ready to defend your votes at the polling units, after voting at the polling units, you head to the nearest collation center, which is at the local government collation level. From there, they get to the state level and to the national level, Abuja. People will defend their vote at all these stages. If not, it cannot be guaranteed that the votes of the people at the polling units will count. They will manufacture the figures, so everyone should be ready. That's how people are planning in the north. No one is going to court this time around. That was settled in 2023. Thanks for watching.